Um, I feel like I've covered foreign employment income in quite a bit of detail in previous sessions as well. So I didn't want to do too much more other than please refer you to section 6 quat and interpretation note 18 again. With respect to it, it is right in terms of the treatment. All right. So I'm going to just leave that there for a second. I've seen these two questions which have come through. All right. So the first question here from Cindy is if the deceased bequeath assets to the spouse and hence CGT rollover applied on that date, but because we have liquidity issues in the estate, we then have to do a sale to liquidate, then it's one of the reasons why where assets are transferred to a spouse, it's you almost can't do the deceased's tax return until you've actually finalized the L&D. Because until I know that actually the asset is physically going to go to that individual, I don't know whether the rollover relief will apply or not. The one issue with this, so we have to be clear. Even if the intent was to give me the asset, if I can't give myself the asset because the estate's insolvent, then the exemption doesn't apply. Okay. Please note, however, that for the purposes of both the rollover relief or the CGT calculation, where the asset being disposed of is a primary residence, then para 44 specifically says that the individual and the deceased estate are treated as the same person, so therefore the primary residence exclusion would roll over. Okay. Okay, it looks like we could do quite a few different questions on the L&D front. So, but I think maybe what I'm going to suggest is because there's a few sort of slightly more technical queries coming in, is that maybe one of the suggestions then is that it may be time that we actually do a proper session on income tax of deceased individuals again, because it definitely looks like there's a lot of concern here. So maybe if I can ask, if I can just ask my tax faculty representatives to get that added to the register, I'd be happy to present something on that. I've got a few sessions which we can do up to including how we do the administration of deceased estates. There definitely seems to be a demand for that. I'll go and I'll go and see what I can do to get that added to the to the roster. Right. With respect to the section 10102 questions, I've had two follow-on questions which have come through from here. The first, and they generally both refer to how do I calculate the days for section 10102 and also actually for section 10101. Please note that section 10102 and section 10101 don't talk about 183 days in a tax year. They talk about 183 days in a rolling year of assessment, either going and it can be for a varying period. So I can take from today being the 20th of June and count backwards to the 19th of June last year, or I could count prospectively taking from today going forward and only applying the exemption for that period. All right. Again, I know tax faculty has actually done a session on this previously,